Hey you, I'm Sarah Turner. I'm a freelance medical copywriter, and today I want to talk to you about how it is totally possible to make $3,000 a month from blogging, which I know sounds crazy, but I promise it's true. I've done it, I've far exceeded that, and I have had hundreds of students now do it too. So, first, let's break it down. If you wanted to make $3,000 a month, that would be $750 a week. And if you can get to a place where you're charging between $150 to $200 a blog, that would only be 3 to 4 blogs a week to make that happen, which is insanely doable. So, yeah, I think people tend to think that, they see things on Upwork and prices people are charging there, and they're seeing prices like $30 a blog, things like that. But with copywriting and content writing, you get what you pay for. And I will say that one of the biggest reasons I'm so passionate about bringing these videos to you guys and talking about this is because I actually started out in content mills where I was making $30 for a 1,000-word blog, which is just horrible. I had no idea at the time that I was being insanely taken advantage of. And it took me a while also to kind of gain the confidence to break out and to charge more for my work. So again, $3,000 a month blogging is extremely doable. It's just about how you position yourself, how you practice your work, how you have the skill set to justify the cost. And again, it would be about 3 to 4 blogs a week at a rate of $150 to $200. And I have just now, at this point in time, over the last year, have seen so many of my students achieve this in a relatively short time. We're talking like 3 to 6 months. And so now I know with total confidence that it's incredibly achievable. So let's talk about what you need to do to be able to charge something like that. And again, remember when I started out, I was charging pennies. And now I'm charging anywhere between $400 to $600 a blog. But the reason that I can charge what I charge is because I bring a lot of value to the work that I do. So if you're going to do this, this is how I recommend you approach it. First, if you're writing blogs, you got to know a little bit about SEO. Neil Patel is a great resource on this. So is Moz. Backlinko is another good one. But one thing I want to warn you about SEO is don't go too far down the rabbit hole here, because when you're first learning about it, it can seem really confusing. And the important thing to remember is that it's everyone's best guess. Google does not want people to know how it ranks its websites. And actually, maybe I should back up and clarify that SEO stands for search engine optimization. So basically what that means is it's how Google crawls through the websites and all the words on there and says, okay, this is what it's about. This is how, reliable it is, or what authority it has. And it has a few different ways of ranking that. So people, when they first come across SEO or first learn about SEO, and I mean, I was one of these people for sure, it's really easy to get overwhelmed. You could read forever about it. People love to get really nerdy and really get into the minutia of it. But at the end of the day, you just need to know the basics and how to incorporate it into your writing, website, anything that's online that you want to rank in Google O. So that would also include website copy as well as blogs. So you want to have a few keywords that you integrate into your pieces. I definitely don't recommend keyword stuffing. People over time, as Google got smarter, started penalizing for that. So back in the day, people would put like 3% keyword density, meaning like 3% of their article was the same keyword over and over again. And anyone who would read that, you could see this does not sound good. This sounds weird. I'm not sure, if you're not familiar with SEO, you're like, why are they repeating this word over and over again? But Google continues to get smarter, and really what Google is looking for is helpful, engaging content that is really written for the reader. So keep that in mind. So SEO is a guideline, and it's definitely something you should incorporate. That's how you're able to charge good prices for your work. Because if you're not incorporating SEO into things like blogs, it's really a waste of money for the client. And some people don't know that. I think that those are generally the people who are looking for people to write things for them for $30 on Upwork. They think, oh, I'm supposed to have blogs. I'll just go get the cheapest rate I can find. So Definitely read a little bit about SEO. You should be incorporating it into your work. That's how you bring value. Another thing is to read about copywriting. You know that I'm a big advocate for copywriting over content writing for most cases, because blogs are always an opportunity to achieve a goal. And you can always have a call to action or a CTA, even if it's something like getting them to sign up for an email list so you can continue the conversation with them. Making a small purchase. Maybe your client has an affiliate program, but definitely don't waste opportunities for content online to, don't and not include copywriting techniques. The other thing is copywriting is really a skill that you're constantly developing, and it's about making the audience feel really understood. So it's not just writing for the sake of being informative, it's actually learning about your audience, getting to know them. What are their pain points? What are they worried about? How can you help them? How can you build trust with them? And it's so worth learning about. And it's actually really interesting and fun because there's psychology to it. And when done well, it just kind of makes you a more empathetic person. I know that since I've started copywriting, kind of go around the world thinking more about what other people are thinking about or worried about, are concerned about, are scared of. And I just think it's a really it's like one of the best skills you can have as a business owner, as a freelancer, or anyone in digital marketing, really. And I'm not the only one who's saying that. So don't be afraid of copywriting, read a little bit about it. There is so much information on it right now available to us, just like everything else. We live in such an abundant time of information. So don't be scared. Just start reading a little bit and keep in mind that you'll be able to learn as you go. In fact, as a copywriting student, you never stop learning. And that is another thing I love about it. You're a forever student. So definitely read up on copywriting, work on making your audience feel understood, learn about them, get into the groups they're in. It's definitely really important, and it's how you're going to be able to charge those awesome prices for your blogs. The next thing is to just get some initial projects, and I'm really open to how people do this. I think that everyone, in my course has found a lot of different ways, and so there's no one right answer for everyone, but I really think and have seen a lot of success with reaching out to your personal network first. So that might mean a friend, that might mean a business owner you come in contact with, maybe a salon owner, somebody who runs a yoga studio, the photographer from your wedding. Those are some of my favorite examples actually from students. But get those initial jobs, because you don't want to just write in a bubble. You want to actually work on those first steps of engaging with a client, building up your portfolio, having some experience, practicing the things you're learning. That's another great thing about this process, is that you get to practice as you go. So, don't expect to be an expert overnight. It's totally cool. But there are people who need copywriting at every single level. So find some initial jobs, put yourself out there. I know it's scary, but every time you do it, it gets easier. You could also reach out to businesses in your area, job boards like ProBlogger. They're really, when you start to open your eyes, you will see that there are, opportunities everywhere. One of my favorite student stories was actually a girl who was taking a shower, and her shampoo bottle hit her in the head as it fell off the shelf. And she reached down to pick it up, and she was like, whoa, this is a company I would absolutely love to work for. And she reached out to them, and she now writes for them. So just keep an open mind as you go about your day. Think about who could benefit from your copy. And also, one thing I want to say is don't assume that people don't need help, because this is another thing that I've come to learn over the past year or two in working with students, is when you see somebody who you look at their online presence and you're like, oh, they've got it figured out, they don't need me. Sometimes they do. You have no idea what's going on the back end. For me, for example, I reached out to a few people like that, and they were like, oh, thank goodness my sister's been writing my blogs. I really need help. I can't have my sister do these anymore. She's getting frustrated with me. I need you to do it. I'm so glad you came along. So don't assume that oh, they have an amazing writer. They could be doing it themselves. They could be really tired of doing it. So just keep an open mind, and try not to let yourself get intimidated. So as you find those initial jobs, this is how you build your portfolio. So maybe you do work for, lower prices in exchange for a testimonial. And as you build your portfolio, I really recommend 3 to 5 pieces. Once you have those, then you want to build a website. And when you build a website, first of all, it's so important to build a website as a copywriter, especially if you're going to be writing web copy and blogs, because it's a place for you to showcase your skills. So your website in and of itself is a portfolio piece, right? So build a website, include your portfolio pieces, and keep in mind as you grow as a writer, you're going to continue to update those portfolio pieces and make them more robust, more strong, and a better showcase of your work. So with that in mind, and then you can start reaching out to clients and gaining more clients. So with that in mind, I want to kind of go over what it looks like to grow as a copywriter or as somebody who is blogging. So first you want to just get a few projects at a rate that you feel good about. I really don't encourage people to work for free, because in the mind of the person you're working with, even if it is a friend, it lessens the overall value of your work. So I really don't recommend working for free. Also, it's a lot of work. And it's going to get faster as you get better, obviously. But so get a few projects at a particular rate, complete those projects, get feedback, do all the things that come with it, have client interactions, have, feedback from somebody who's not your mom. And then, when those are a success, go ahead and raise your rates. And when you raise your rates and you find new clients and you get projects under that rate, you continue to build your confidence in that area. And then you go ahead and raise your rates again. And you keep doing this till you find the sweet spot, till you find the spot where it feels like you're offering fantastic value to your client, where you feel like you're getting paid sufficiently and not taken advantage of. And that is really what it looks like to grow as a, online writer. And keep in mind, you'll get faster. So like if we want to go back again to the numbers for making $3,000 a month, it would be $750 a week, 3 to 4 blogs at $150 to $200. And I'm at a point now where blogs only take me about 2 hours to write. And that might not be the case when you're starting out, especially because a lot of people get analysis paralysis. They get really worried about it. And one of the best tricks I have for writing blogs faster is to just give yourself a limit. Say I'm going to spend X amount of time on research, because research can go on forever. You could research forever, endlessly. So give yourself a limit on research, and then limit yourself on everything that you do, and try and work on getting that time down. But yeah, so if at those rates, and if I were only, using 2 hours a day to write one blog, 3 to 4 blogs, that's like 8 hours a week. And that is just insane. You could be making that kind of money, $3,000 a month, working like 8 hours a week. Obviously, actually, let's call it 10 in case, just to account for admin and stuff like that. But it's not just me who has done it at this point. Like I said, I've had a lot of students who are doing this. Some of them, their priority is time. They're not trying to make, 6 figures in a year. And I have a couple of students who are making $3,000 a month, only working like 20 hours a month. So it's pretty incredible, the opportunities that are out there. You just don't want to get on things like Upwork and race to the bottom. Take the time to kind of build your portfolio, get the experience, earn money as you go. That's also one of the benefits of this. But yeah, go after those clients that you've always dreamed of working for, because that is how you also build a fulfilling career that just makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. So thanks for watching. If you like that, give me a thumbs up. That's how I know. Leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see in the future. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.